Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to WHM Mail Bag for this Monday, October 21st. So this is the October 2024 WHM Mail Bag. My name is Andrew Juping, and welcome you all in here this evening. We got some folks in the chat here. Hello, EB, James R, James Harris, Greg Baffuto, Marcent 12, I'm So Rachel, the Movie Club Movies, the Fox Bride over on our Twitch channel. What's up, everybody? Gonna bring in my three buds here. We're gonna read some letters. We're gonna plug some shows that you might not be aware of, both virtual and in the flesh. But first up, let's bring in my buds. Number one with a bullet, Mr. Steven Sadak.
Wow, no, number 4 with a bullet. Four.
So it's less exciting when two people do.
No, I did it too early. I fucked it up.
That's all right. You got that shirt open, though. You're looking pretty sexy this evening.
Don't worry about it.
It's hot out again here.
It might go down one more button. If people in the chat wanted to go down one more button with it. You know, if you tip us well enough, you know. It's like cam show.
Mm-hmm. Next up, no secret to cam shows, Mr. Eric Siska.
Oh, my God. Don't even. The tokens I've earned. But, yeah, so four bullets for Steve. That's what I've learned.
Yes,
right?
That's what it takes to take him out.
Because you said number 1 with a bullet. He said 4, so you shoot him 4 times.
That's right. That's right. Speaking of shooting 4 times in one night, Mr. Chris Cabin.
No, Salvatore. No, Salvatore, is there one blinking light or are they all solid?
It's helping his uncle fix the internet.
No, Salvatore just got it has to be a solid blue light. The blinking white light doesn't matter. Yeah. No, wait. Oh, is it? Oh, wait, it's working.
Unplug it, plug it back in.
Guys, I can hear you. Okay, hold on.
Wait, hold on. What's going on?
God damn it.
Blow on the cartridge. Blow on the cartridge.
But got the Salvatore. Hello.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, well.
I thought you were going to be tubing it. I really thought this is the end.
This every time. This is what you think is going to happen. Is I'm going to be jerking my dick off here, or just showing my dick off. I guess is what he was doing. More showing it.
A late night show, and anything can happen.
It's true.
That's true. Yeah. So we have some letters that we are going to get to, but I think we would be remiss if we did not mention that it's Monday night, which means that just 2 nights from now, Wednesday night, you guys, we're going to be looking exactly like this, but on a different platform called Moment, because we are talking Scream 4 live on the internet, motherfucker. Look at this.
Oh,
love this art from our bud Felipe Sobrero. Look at this fucking art. Oh, goodness gracious. But that's right. Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be talking about this movie. And honestly, let's be real, right? Like, the whole Scream franchise, more or less, is going to be weaving in and out of the conversation.
We'll be talking a lot about it, I think.
Jerry O'Connell.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Remember him?
Yeah, exactly.
We'll be having
you, baby.
Yeah. There's a reason
Rory Culkin.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Well, there's a reason Jerry O'Connell is now announcing the Puppy Bowl, and it's his performance in Scream 2 is part of it.
And he perished. Thank God for that.
The puppies got him.
He's doing pretty all right with that Star Trek Lower Decks money, though.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
He's a main voice on that show. But moment.co/wehatemovies. That's where you want to go to get them ticks for Wednesday night. We're also immediately following the program. We're doing a whole other like after party Q&A. It's like a whole other hour of answering questions. Probably doing like a little of this, you know, a little going on.
Yeah, that's the dirty show. That's the button comes down 1. We'll save it for then, Steve.
All right.
Let's make them pay for it. All right?
Okay, right.
Cool thing about that, if you're a Patreon subscriber at the $8 level or up, you get that ticket absolutely free along with your show ticket purchase. That's right.
I will tell you, if we sell this moment.co show out, I will get Steve to do the vibrating egg. We will. we will have. If this
Guaranteed.
show sells out, we will 100% get the vibrating.
All right,
egg.
that's
Absolutely.
it. That's a promise.
Written in blood.
But
I guess we'll see how that goes.
That is the after party. That is $5 extra, unless you support us on Patreon, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, I'm excited
Pre-nudie
to talk about this. Yeah, and no, there's no nudity.
No.
Okay, no. That was our
Not
opinions
anymore.
will be naked and on display for you.
That's right. Yes, naked opinions. There
Did
you
you ever
go.
see the episode of Law and Order SVU? I believe it's Billy Porter is playing a music teacher and he's being framed for molesting his students.
Yeah.
And someone puts a vibrating egg in his music room and they're like, "Oh, what music does this make, Mr. Whatever?" And he's like, "I don't know what that is."
That's my
Oh
lunch.
no!
I don't know. It might make a pretty interesting sound if you put it up against electric guitar. And
Yeah,
then,
Tom
a
Waits
little-
would make a fucking
Yeah.
song with a vibrating egg.
Tom
Sure.
Morello could do some good stuff with that. I'm sure he could.
Oh yeah, totally. He's just smacking it against the fucking side of the
Oh my God. There was a local band when I was growing up that played our high school and stuff, and they would play the guitar with a dildo. It sounded
Oh, okay.
terrible,
For them.
but it
Whoa!
was a big cool moment for stage.
Mhm.
So possibly more stories like this later in the evening, folks, depending upon what these letters we're about to get up to. But moment.co/wehatemovies, that's the first show we're going to tell you about this evening, talking Scream 4 this Wednesday night. And by the way, one thing we did not mention, if you cannot make it Wednesday night, 14-day replay after the fact for both the Scream show and that after party. So you got till, November the 6th to catch that replay if you can't hang out live. So there
Right
you go.
after Election Day, catch the replay.
And
Yep.
Goodbye,
Yep.
everyone.
So considering this may be our last mailbag, Eric Siska.
yes.
No. Kick us off, Eric, with the first
yes.
letter of the evening.
Now, Chris, are these tantalizing tales of the macabre, perhaps?
Sure. That sounds great.
All
I
right.
think that's a great way to say
This
it.
one doesn't sound like it because the title's Free Popcorn.
Hey, free popcorn.
Hey, look, doesn't that sound scary? Isn't that something what a scary person would offer you?
I just don't
True.
think popcorn should be so cheap. You're better than that popcorn.
It's true.
Hey, guys, I'm a huge fan and have been listening since I discovered you in undergrad in 2014. Ouch.
Nice.
Thank you, though. My first episode was the B-movie episode. I wanted to share with you a funny story and ask a question. When I was an undergrad, the M. Night Shyamalan movie Split came out.
Okay.
Myself and my three best friends at the time went to see it. Being as we really wanted to see the movie, but we were all broke college kids, we could only afford tickets. We couldn't even afford to buy stuff before the movie and sneak it in.
Okay.
I've been there. No money, man. Oof.
Yep.
Oof. There should be like a universal basic income for kids to go to movies. But
Hey, I agree.
Yeah, no, I totally think so.
yeah.
If you want to get them back in the theater, absolutely. Get them a free small popcorn and a small soda. You're ready to go.
That's right. So this is where my best friend comes in. The theater was packed, and we had to wait until a 10:30 showing, but we were starving. We all had to scrounge together for the outrageous price of a large soda and refill with free refill to split it amongst us.
And that's good of you to be able to share like that. But also, even the fucking sodas, they're like, you put a mortgage out for those fucking things.
Yeah.
At this point.
Mhm.
Like,
Oh,
I-
totally. Here's the
disgusting.
question, though. Is this you got the big soda and then you asked for like 4 water cups, or is this we're just sharing a straw?
I think we're probably
Ooh.
going to pass
It looks
it
like a
around.
sharing. It looks like a straw.
pirates.
Wow.
Because we would
Very
attend to some
intimate.
of those people at the multiplex, like, oh,
Yeah.
can I get a large soda and fucking 4 water cups? And then they'd be like, because I just have these little kids, and then they just need a little bit of soda. And then inevitably, fucking 8 out of 10 times, that same person comes back. There's a spill in the theater, and I'm like, oh, who caused that? Who do we think caused the spill in the theater? Pour the huge soda into the teeny glass.
But that, for a certain movie, I think that's okay. Like if you're watching Die Hard with a Vengeance and you're
Yes,
trying to
that's-
replicate the
I was thinking the same thing.
doing the puzzle while they're doing it on the screen.
it's interactive, fun, play with your concessions, only a little bit. Don't
I
make a
thought
mess.
you knew. Cindy, I thought you knew how to put it into the small cup.
If I put that into Michael's cup, we have exactly 4 gallons.
Oh, 4 gallons of soda. Look out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So the friend went to go get the soda at the concession stand. Is this a good time to explain that well, I guess it is. Is this
probably?
Yeah, I guess we're explaining something right now.
If it's happening.
Well, we're not going to skip over it and come back to it later. So it's now or never.
We're doing it. We used to play D&D together through a combination of his name and some events in D&D. He has become known as the Moracle.
Okay.
Oh, so like a moron oracle?
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's what I would assume. That's what that sounds like.
By the way, pretty easy assumption to make. You were playing D&D. What with waiting till 10:30 p.m. to see an M. Night Shyamalan movie?
Right. My God. But by the way, like, it's always blows my mind when people say they play D&D. I'm like, now, like, the last 10 years. It's
Oh
like,
no, it's
People
huge,
do it.
dude. The kids are doing it.
It's huge, dude.
Adults are doing it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow.
50
Adults
odds.
are doing it. I could watch. Is there somewhere I could watch adults do it?
I mean, yes,
yes.
online,
Okay,
Yes.
many places.
You know, I always wanted to play, but no one I knew played it at all. So,
I didn't understand how to play. Like I've never tried.
Yeah,
It
me
looks,
neither.
You know, kind of neat.
I-
But I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I'm sure you could get an invite these days, Eric, if you put yourself out there. I'm sure somebody in the audience would love to D&D with you.
Right?
I'm
sure they would.
Yeah.
Yeah, D&D, double N dildo.
Mhm.
Ass to ass. So he was trusted to always make good decisions for the group in and out of the world of D&D. So anyway, the Moracle returns with our large cherry Coke. Good order, by the way.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah, but I have to say, is that was that a group agreed upon flavor? Because you can't just group, share a soda and you're
But
throwing
that-
cherry
this is
Coke.
the thing. This is the D&D dynamic out in the real world. These people are terrified to talk to people. It's like, I don't know. Should we talk to I don't want to talk to the concession guy. Send the Moracle.
Yes.
Right? And the Moracle rolls some die, and it's like, oh, it's a 6. That means cherry Coke.
Yeah.
I looked at the book.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
there.
Honestly, I'll tell you right now, some days when I go to the movies, I wish I had a fucking Moracle to go to the goddamn concession stand for me.
Definitely, yes. So he returns with a large refillable bucket of popcorn.
Love that.
Whoa,
With the
whoa.
refillable. That means
Yes.
that's dinner for tomorrow.
Exactly. He was honored as a hero, and we celebrate whatever he did to pull this off, and we all start digging into the popcorn.
Okay.
One of us had the misfortune of asking where he got this from. He told us that he was walking out. He saw the popcorn bucket sitting on the top of a mountain of garbage
No.
and the theater trash. And since it was on
Moracle, you fucked up.
this actually sounds kind of clever. 'cause,
Not bad.
are
Not
they
bad,
gonna-
I got to say.
I don't think they're going to eat the garbage. I think they're going to scam the system here, put the system on trial.
Okay.
So, he poured it out and got a free refill.
Okay.
So you got the garbage bucket, but
Yeah.
the popcorn has been refreshed.
Yeah.
It was still in the garbage.
I know, but this is like
I know,
these are poor
Jerry.
kids. These are poor
Yeah.
kids. This is Robin Hood stuff we're doing.
I think I'd be into this. I'd be okay with it.
Oh yeah. If I was saving money, like I always had popcorn money, and I'm blessed to have been in that situation where I always had popcorn money to have. But if I didn't, I could see myself absolutely going trash hunting
I
to
know.
make sure I could get free popcorn.
We got
100%.
popcorn bucks up the wazoo now.
I did.
So-
I mean,
was
also,
popcorn millionaire.
as someone who fucking just would dry run it at the movies for years, like I was not a big concessions person
Yeah.
for a really long time. Like, how bad do you need a snack at the movie?
Well, it sounds like these people aren't even eating. That there's not. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
these
Like,
are
they're-
poor college students. They need their
Is
nutrients.
that what's happening? So
Also-
on this isn't just a snack situation.
Yeah.
This is like
This is
one
dinner.
of the
This is
three
dinner.
meals.
That's
Uh-huh.
their meal. It's going to be
Yeah.
their meal. And
And
also,
still would
remember,
not take a bucket from the trash can.
And you got to keep in mind, these are D&D players. These are notorious snackers.
Yes.
They
Oh,
snack to
right.
no end during D&D. That's just part of the game. Really, is having snacking and having 2 really fancy IPAs.
sounds kind of nice.
It's not bad.
So we all sat in shock and horror, and
See, they were disgusting.
yeah,
too.
we had devoured over half of the bucket, and the Moracle now dropped this bombshell on us.
Oh, the Moracle, that fool.
You should have kept it in. Should have lied.
Yeah, more cool, not the moron
No,
side,
yeah.
but the Oracle side. Anyway,
I'm seeing I was given it by a stranger.
He can tell by our faces that we were not exactly excited about this and says, I invented a new life hack. He kind of did. He's an inventor here.
Mhm.
Another friend of mine answers, your life hack is eating out of the trash.
Indeed.
It isn't a life hack if homeless people are forced to do it. I mean, they didn't have to work for it, so it's kind of a nice little hack.
I'm sure they would love it. I'm sure the homeless person would love
Hey.
to have that popcorn.
This is a crazy thing I just realized. So we're talking about what year did this movie come out?
Split?
Split?
2014?
Okay. Because I just realized I was mistakenly thinking of Lady in the Water, and I was like, wasn't that in the early aughts and we were saying life
No.
hack?
Split is 2016.
So definitely appropriate to be saying
Yes.
life hack.
Oh yeah, we're in there by now.
I'm glad it wasn't an inaccuracy in this.
Yes.
No. Firmly within life hack usage
Yeah.
years. Yes.
He quit eating the popcorn, but I guess it says he quit eating the popcorn, but the desperation of being a poor college kid's sunk in for the rest of us, and we refilled the bucket at least 3 times.
And when in Rome.
If you're doing it, you're doing it. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, I would say every time you refill the bucket, it kind of gets cleaner, I guess. You know, like
That's one
true.
way to look at it.
Because then there's popcorn particles that get
yes,
poured out of there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
But
they
then you
scoop
got-
up the bad stuff.
You got to think about how often is the Moracle washing his hands? How
Mm.
often are your friends? These are grubby booger boys, perhaps?
They're
It's
definitely
possible.
grubby.
But-
If one of them is called the Moracle, he's a grubby booger boy.
But,
Okay?
but if you are going to give him that kind of that kind of title, I imagine he's the one who's not the booger boy. If anything, Evan is the booger boy, the one who doesn't have a name
yeah.
at all.
So my question for the esteemed panel is, do you have any theater life hacks, I guess like eating out of the garbage?
Yeah.
Or have you ever experienced something similar to this with a group of friends at the movies? Thank you again for making my PhD studies better. A little brag in here too.
Yeah.
Do we get portions of that? Can we call ourselves doctors now?
I think that's how it works.
That's
Can I get the D? So peace out. Much love. Heath from Gainesville, Florida.
I had a little period when I was unemployed where I'd go to the
Uh-huh.
movies during the day, but I wanted I wanted to have a meal at the movies. So what I would do is I'd go to Taco Bell and I would get the quesadilla, which is a thin object. You understand?
Yep.
You get a soft taco, also thin object.
And then you got what? Duct tape taped it to your chest.
in the inner pocket of a jacket. You just slide that sucker in there.
Inner pocket of a messenger bag that had a zip. So like
Oh,
lady's
okay.
looking at it. She's like, all right, you want to see what's in there? Go
Mhm.
right ahead. Now I have my thin, but also not thinning little lunch
Yes.
going on hidden inside of there. So
I
there
just
you
think
go.
about that waft of Taco Bell
Oh man,
smell in her
she-
face.
no.
I mean,
And
also,
but wait a second though. So you're going to like a Regal, like a non-dinner theater, and you're
Sure.
eating a Taco Bell quesadilla.
Mhm.
You may as well have had that shit duct taped to your chest because you, my friend, are a fucking theater terrorist.
Oh,
are you
come
kidding me?
on. Come on! Now all of a
dude,
sudden
hot-
we hate Taco Bell. We're
It's
all
not-
we're all
it-
against
Oh,
it. We're
it's
all
not
down.
nearly as bad as McDonald's. McDonald's has the smell
Ooh.
that lasts forever, and I can't
but
abide by that. I will say though, waiting on a quesadilla until the cheese gets nice and chunky and coagulated, definitely, and when you can hemorrhage the spicy sauce when you bite into it, that's always the best way to do it, for sure.
but I just like that this turned on you, Steven. I wish I had a gavel and we could
Yeah.
do a whole
Mhm.
movie theater court here.
Here I thought I was the Moracle, and now I'm not.
No,
you
no.
know, like I'm
Yeah.
the lessical.
I don't
I'm
have.
if it's a theater that doesn't have a hot food menu option, the introduction to hot food breaks the expectation of what you are going to smell in the auditorium.
But also, here's the thing, and I mean, this was again. I'm going at like 11:30 noon-ish
Yeah.
on a Tuesday. Almost no one was there all the time.
Yeah,
I always had my invisible donut well around me. I'm not just sitting I'm not cramming ass in the middle of
Yeah.
3 people.
Andrew, you more than anybody doesn't care about these people. I
That's
mean, come
true.
on. You don't give me a break. The 4 people who smelled that Taco Bell,
Yeah.
who were watching Fantastic Four 2 at fucking 2
Yeah,
p.m.
exactly.
There's another layer to this theater etiquette, though. Did you do like quick little soft bites, or were you just like, ha ha ha?
But again, no, it's
Were
a
you
soft
laughing?
taco and the quesadilla. That these are silent bites.
Were you
I'm
little
silent
soft
running
bites?
at this point.
Minding your own business, soft bites, not like
Yes.
Eric is like Gene Hackman in the conversation. He's got like a thing up waiting to hear it.
No,
I mean, I do
approve
appreciate
it.
the crunchless.
He'd eat a quesadilla if he had a chance.
Like saxophone in the second row.
I don't know how much longer I could keep this up.
Yeah.
He'd give us a quesadilla if he had the chance.
Oh, look at that! Look at that poor man eating quesadilla by himself. You know, I always think that's somebody's baby boy. That was somebody's baby boy once.
Pull up the window too.
He used to have parents who loved him. And now he's just eating a cheesy gordita crunch.
I mean, it's got to taste like absolutely terrible at this point. I mean, it's got to just be plain and chunky, and nobody wants that.
That's my life. I had the guts to say my life hack.
I don't have a food hack, but I will say in the old theater, that the one that I worked at, though, that me and Andrew worked in, it was on the top level of a mall. Like you go down an escalator. Now, if you went in, your buddy went in, and you each had bought the ticket, you could take those stubs and just drop them off the side of the upper deck, and people downstairs could get him and be like, hey, we just we went out for a quick to get a smoke or something.
Yeah, you'd be like, I had a smoke. I'm just running back in. Here's my stub.
Did that right all the time. All the time.
That's the perfect crime.
Yeah. That was a good one. Here's one that I employ as often as possible. And it depends upon the theater layout. So it is, if you're going to utilize this theater hack, it's best to know, be familiar with like the layout of the auditorium you're going into. You know what I mean? Like have been there before.
Case the joint.
Back row, I am breaking this dude out and having a great time. No one's I've learned to love the back row for that, especially the Lincoln Square, that fucking balcony. Dude, the top of that balcony, no one's fucking.
So I'm sorry, I'm eating a quesadilla. We're doing hard drugs in front of 8-year-olds during Shazam 2.
That was a
hard drugs. What are you, my fucking dare officer?
But
hard drugs.
I have to ask Andrew: are these respectful little toots, or are these
crunchy? Are they crunchy? If it is crunchy, I don't want
it. But are you hooting and hollering and carrying on? Are you yelling at the movie? Are you?
No. Why would I be yelling? Why am I yelling at the movie?
You know, if you get in early enough, you can do a bump in the back row and no one's gonna bother you.
You used to have to do a bump in the parking lot.
some Bogota booger sugar.
Look, I'm just saying it definitely don't fucking smell as long.
It's fair. It's a fair point.
And I am the considerate. I blow it down like towards the floor. I'm not pushing it up in front of the projector, and it's gone in 2 seconds.
Not directly in the 6-year-old's face, which is good.
Of course not. And yeah, if I'm going to fucking Mario Brothers at 10 o'clock in the morning, of course I'm not doing that.
And here's my life hack, okay, for the theater, okay?
Yeah.
Keep your head down. Don't get into trouble. Don't make eye contact with anyone.
No, it's not
no one at all. No one at all. You just always look at your shoes.
Absolutely.
That's my life hack.
I don't know if I've ever said this, but I do wish, and I want to breathe this into existence. Like,
okay,
we're all assigned seats these days, and especially like there's a nice map of the theater of where your seat's going to be. You pick it. Nowhere in any of these maps do they have, this is the door to the theater. This is the entrance, this is the exit. It makes such a huge difference when you're picking where you're going. You know what I mean? Like, just
I totally agree.
Entrance, like a little E box that I know where I'm coming in.
You might be
go to the bathroom.
You might be suggesting going into the theater and sitting down instead of picking out some weird map someone made that has no relation to the actual layout of the theater.
Oh, so you want us to put more money into theatrical distribution, do you? Well, that's an interesting argument.
I want to say, does the Alamo app or maybe the iPick app have that? Where they label
it's definitely not the Alamo, because I use the Alamo all the time, and that's what bothers me.
Oh, okay.
Classical Pac-Man layout.
Exactly.
That's not hard to do. Like, come on, it's easy as hell.
Just a little E that says
entrance.
Yeah,
but don't do the seats in the middle. That's where the ghosts go when they
look. Like, you can even account for the ghosts because they're there. They're absolutely there.
So we should plug the first of 3 IRL shows we have.
We do.
Steve, because I think in like a little under a month we're getting on planes and going to the PNW.
We are Pacific Northwest. I'm really excited to go to Seattle on November the 15th, Washington Hall, to talk about Harry and the Hendersons, a movie I've not watched in quite some time. The Lithgow impression will be heavily involved.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Flannel up the ass.
Yes, and our first time in Seattle and, Vancouver and everyone in the surrounding areas, come on down. We have no plans.
No.
If you're from like Yakima, come on in. You can do that.
Yeah, Walla Walla. What other Bugs Bunny towns are out there?
Tacoma.
Yeah, that's a funny one.
All the ones that Krusty said that were funny named. Those are the ones we want. We want to get them all.
Exactly. Yes. Tell your friends. Bring your mom and dad. I want to meet them.
I'm excited for this Washington Hall, though, man. I was looking on the website. It's like this fucking like old ass historical situation. Yeah. Love these kind of things. Infinitely better than comedy clubs.
That's
time
true.
And time again.
You will have more fun then because of that, and also we'll get to desecrate a historical building with our nonsense.
Eric does like the Marcus territory, so every time we go into the green room, the corner, it's a little damp. You don't know what it is.
That's right.
But it's a little damp, and that's Eric's fault.
Yeah. And then the podcast that follows us will smell that and be like, whoa, okay.
Whoa.
You know what? Yeah. We'll do a little less good.
Exactly.
This is interesting. In the chat, Ryan Horn says, I'll be excited to hear it in the summer. Well, keep your fucking fingers crossed, pal.
You never know. None of these are guaranteed.
You never know. You never know who's going to fuck up what.
We want them. We want to bring them to you in the summer.
Right.
We really do.
It makes us have less to do later.
Yes. But, we're getting on a plane going there to do this. You should get on a plane and go there and watch
exactly.
Because you never know.
You do never know.
You never know.
Chris Cabin, who should take the next letter?
You should. This is a Toronto Film Festival one, so you should take this.
Oh, there you go.
Ooh, okay. And should mention, by the way, check out our coverage of the fall festivals, Toronto and New York Film Festival, here on this very YouTube channel.
I was too busy stuffing my face with Taco Bell, but you guys did an excellent job.
Steve is sitting at a funeral parlor just eating Taco Bell.
The most traumatic shit in the world's happening and Smile True. Oh, this is great.
And you're like, Steve, whose funeral is it? You go, my own.
Bag after bag.
Should also mention, I think, now that we're talking OSL, OSL proper will return next Monday at noon, right here on this very channel. So subscribe to the channel, hit those notifications. By the way, like this very broadcast on YouTube. By the way,
you better like it.
But I think next week we'll be talking. It'll be like right before Halloween. We're gonna talk about like horror movies and shit. And I think that would be fun.
That and that Venom, if we see who can get out to see it.
That's opening.
I might give it a shot. Yeah. We'll see how we go.
I think it's gonna be you dudes that have it on your Vulture box office thing. I think are very wise.
Yeah, I think it's gonna make some money.
We'll see.
Okay, here we go. That famous French-Canadian friendliness. Greetings, WHM. As a longtime listener and proud Patreon subscriber, thank you. I've always hoped I would one day have a movie theater experience wild enough to send in and add to your mailbag's growing compendium of unbelievable tales of atrocious theater etiquette. Love this. Luckily, one bizarre screening at the 2023 edition of the Toronto International Film Festival finally provided me with the perfect story to share with you guys. A story of insolent, entitled festival attendees, oh, I know them, being put in their place by festival volunteers who were pushed too damn far.
This is the letter version of the trailer before the trailer. And it's the guy's clearly a very good writer, so I'm happy to hear it. Yeah. But it is funny how like you will be stunned. What happens to you?
Yeah, this is exciting.
Marker. Yeah, here we go.
At the time, I was working as a freelance film critic for a few outlets and living in Toronto, thrilled to attend my third TIFF. With press pass in hand, I had the privilege of attending as many press and industry screenings as my busy work schedule would accommodate. One such screening that I imprudently queued for was Bill Skarsgård's action comedy vehicle Boy Kills World. Chris Cabin, you loved that movie, you said?
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
It sounded like you're doing an orgasm.
No, yeah, that's what it was.
Is that how much
Chris,
you loved
is that-
that movie?
Is
No.
that as annoying as it looks?
It's so much worse than it looks. It is so much. The guy actually we'll keep on going with the story because he does reveal something that I didn't know, and that makes it so much worse.
Oh, awesome. All right, let's see. If you do not recall this hyper-violent, aggro, ironically detached, LOL so random romp.
Correct.
Just imagine all the worst aesthetic and comedic qualities of the Deadpool movies, but with the added benefit of carrying the continuously droning internal monologue of Skarsgård's deaf-mute character. I was unsurprised to see when the film was given a proper release, they replaced his narration with H. John Benjamin, an actual comedian and voice actor who could maybe salvage a joke or two from that abysmal script. So that's fascinating. Bill Skarsgård did his own narration at first.
I can somebody get me that because I want to be annoyed even more. So can somebody find me this original cut of where this because the H. John Benjamin, when you watch it, it's like it hits you like a train. You're like, what?
I'm sure. Yeah.
I mean,
like, what the fuck?
Wouldn't it be here? Why wouldn't it be his own monologue? Why is it? Is it like the voice of God, or it's supposed to be him?
But I guess the idea it's supposed to be you'll never hear him talk.
Yeah.
So like
the character is deaf and mute.
Yeah, but like
it doesn't fit the face. No, I agree.
Yeah, exactly. You need to fit the face. I'm sorry, you got to fit that face.
Yes, it's got to be a skinnier voice for sure.
That's what's like kind of brilliant about Archer is like that voice doesn't fit the Archer character design. Okay, that's really friggin' interesting to. So like people who saw that at TIFF that year, anyone who caught the screenings there caught that cut. That's funny. Luckily for me, I did receive one sliver of entertainment from that screening, and that came from what transpired in the front row. Around 10 minutes into the screening, a disheveled, cantankerous older gentleman in an oversized raincoat came storming into the theater. I didn't know this guy was at Film Forum. I thought he said he was at TIFF.
Where's the New York?
No, they're out there, man. They're out there.
Oh, wait, here we go. Loudly ranting in French with a scrawny festival volunteer, probably in his mid-20s, calmly trailing and pleading with him. While I only carry a high school education understanding of the language, it was fairly obvious by his wild gesticulating to the back rows of the theater, he was upset the screening was full and he wouldn't get to see Bill Skarsgård perform kung fu flips while reciting "well, that just happened" quips. For anybody who has never attended TIFF, press and industry screenings operate on a first-come, first-served basis, and a press pass does not guarantee a ticket. Clearly, nobody informed this perturbed francophone critic, who was getting louder with each passing minute, that you are expected to be punctual and line up well before the start of the screening in order to secure a seat. At this point, every one of us sitting in the front row have turned away from whatever was transpiring on screen, and we're fully focused on the real show.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But I must see it. I must see this piece of shit.
How many reviews got written that were like, and then I missed a bunch of this because this old guy was fighting with people.
The whole setup. I don't know what exactly was happening for the rest of the movie, but it was a hell of a show inside the theater.
Is this like sort of like that Megalopolis thing where like the guy, like if someone asks a question to the screen, there's a guy that comes in and tries to kill the world.
He tries to kick the screen. He's trying to fight the screen. That would be good. I would like that.
They need to start, I'm usually against this type of stuff, but give those like film festival ushers need to have tasers on them.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Pepper spray, at least.
Oh, I think knives. I think give them knives. I think that's
Come on.
the best because you really have to put them in their place sometimes.
Right.
I get it.
A full butcher knife, right?
Heck.
Jesus. Let's see. Focus on the real show. A blustering film critic being told there are no seats left. He is making a scene, and he will have to leave by an eternally patient French-speaking volunteer. Cathartically, several audience members even started heckling the guy in the hopes he would leave, and we could watch the movie in peace. Clearly defeated and with no other options, the French film critic started shuffling off. Great.
He just starts crying.
No, I'm going to get fired. I had to write a review of this movie, Boy Kills World.
It's coming out. We have to write a review of it.
Shuffling off, but not before quietly muttering under his breath and directed at the poor volunteer in English, "Go fuck yourself."
Of course.
Okay,
of
I kind of
course.
like this guy now.
All this over this Bill Skarsgård movie,
Yeah,
which is
for
very
what?
funny.
For what?
Now, I'm not sure if that curt remark was just the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back, but I saw something snap in that poor volunteer that day. No doubt all the abuse from entitled festival goers built up over the years was finally let loose in an awesome flood of emotion. This volunteer bolted after him, shouting at the top of his lungs, "Excusez-moi? Hey, excusez-moi?"
Ooh.
And chased him out into the lobby. Knowing the TIFF volunteers to normally exhibit the patience of a saint, absolutely true, by the way.
Incredible.
Uh,
Truly.
Just real miracle shit. Seeing one rushing through a theater motivated purely by indignant rage was something else. All of us in the front row were left shocked for a moment before erupting in hearty laughter. Incidentally, the only laugh I had in the entire 111-minute runtime of that Boy Kills World screening.
Yes, indeed.
To date, I could only imagine the pathetic scuffle that critic and that volunteer got into in the lobby of the Scotiabank Theater that was likely broken up immediately, outshone any laboriously choreographed fight scenes in Boy Kills World in entertainment value. Any similar stories of wild senses of entitlement witnessed at film festivals? Hope this was up to the standard of your usual theater stories. Keep up the great work, and I hope to see you guys up north again after tragically finding myself too sick to attend your Saw 4 live episode. Cheers,
Oh, damn.
Chris in Toronto.
Sorry.
Thank
Chris.
you, Chris.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you for
we'll be
the
back
letter,
there
though.
at some point.
That
yeah.
sounds like a really fun night you had.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, kind of so many that it's not even like worth mentioning. It's all exactly like that exact thing,
Old
right?
people fighting. There's one I remember at one of the New York Film Festivals. Someone like had a plastic bottle of water, and they were having a little drink right before the lights were coming down, and the bottle crinkled in their hand. And the guy next to me went, "Better not happen during the movie."
Wow. You know
Better
what?
not happen during the movie.
Was it a big move? What was it? What do you remember?
Dude, I think it was something kind of minor. What was that? It
Hung
was
Thing Sue?
no, it was something. It's not that. It was the Frederick Weissman that was sort of similar to that.
Oh, a couple?
Yes.
Oh, what?
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That
That's
guy meant
crazy.
serious business, I guess. then.
Yeah, I saw
Wild,
that.
right?
Yeah.
This is his
Better not
first
happen.
fucking narrative endeavor. I don't want to hear that shit from that.
Better not happen during the movie.
That's
You know,
amazing.
but sometimes you want to get a baseline with these fucking freaks. You know what I
That's
mean?
true,
Let
but
them
like
know.
I was there. I saw it all transpire. I feel
yeah.
like having a little sip of water
It should be fine.
It's not exactly duct taping Taco Bell to you, but you know.
Yeah, it like as long as it's not a guy who like is shoveling popcorn in his mouth, going nom nom nom, like, it's probably going to be fine. Like I don't a little crinkle of a fucking who cares? Like,
Yeah,
get over it. Like,
you're in a movie theater. To a certain degree, you got to relax.
Yeah,
and know
calm
that there are
down.
people around you.
Yeah.
I had a pretty egregious one at a TIFF screening one time. I believe it was for, and this is what kind of makes it funnier, that abysmal Jason Reitman Men, Women, and Children movie.
Oh.
And so we're watching the movie. It's a packed like multiplex theater, Jason Reitman, big deal. So it's completely full.
At the time.
We're in the back. Yeah. We're in the back of the theater. This dude, like in the row in front of us and then kind of to the left, just opens a huge laptop, like while the movie's on.
Hell yeah.
And he's like tip-tapping, writing emails, looking at shit. He's like reading fucking Deadline.
Yeah.
So this person like behind our row is like, "Hey, can you close your laptop during the movie?" And this dude freaked the fuck out after the first ask, and it wasn't even rude. It was a totally like acceptable. Could you please close your laptop? This dude turns around and he starts screaming. He's like, "Yeah, this is a press and industry screening. Press and industry. It is a working screening. I am working. This is a time to work. You are working and I am working." And he's like screaming about how it's like an industry screening.
That's awesome.
Ooh, dude, it was.
What an
I was like,
Yeah.
how am I going to possibly learn how terrifying and dangerous the internet is from this movie if this dude won't close his laptop? But yeah, he was like screaming from the jump as if he was like ready for it. Like, I
But
know
it's-
doing this is going to piss them off.
Well, that's just a misreading of what the situation is, though. Like, yes, the work is there. That's the work right
Yep.
up there, not
Exactly.
down
Like,
here.
there's places in the lobby you can go to use your laptop. Like,
Yes.
you know, it was an amazing freak out.
No, yeah. I mean, I have the same story as everybody else where like someone like a phone flashes on for a second for somebody to check the time and they ask like somebody's burning the screen down. Which is like you know, I've learned to kind of let some of that stuff go because people check the time. I get that. I do that too. But like yeah, if you're actually typing on something, yeah, of course you should stop doing that.
Checking the time is obnoxious to me only because like you've allotted yourself this time to go to the movies. Here's how long the movie's going to be, and then add 25 minutes of it if you're at a multiplex. And there's the time you're like going to get out. And it's not going to be that time until the movie's over with. Like I sat next to a woman during a P&I. It was like at one of our last ones at New York Film Festival. And like every fucking 2 minutes, she's checking her phone.
Oh,
and
well, yeah.
See, that's the thing.
It's every 2 minutes.
If it's like
it was obnoxious, man.
If it's like a wristwatch, you're like sort of slightly looking down at.
Yeah.
Not doing the full, but like just slightly a little bit.
Yeah.
It's one like one of your vape hits, one of these little light.
Oh yeah,
moments.
no, but like a turning your phone on to check the time was insane. Actually, the one time one of those things worked in a positive way was last year. I forget the movie. It was a Netflix movie at New York Film Festival. The fucking ta-dun thing came on and it was dead silent, and then someone who must have been a Netflix person or a PR person who worked for Netflix was like, yeah, and cheered, and everybody booed that person. It was so flippin' funny.
That is pretty funny.
Anyway,
yeah,
so there you go. There's some film festival stuff.
The 2 nights later, when we're in the Pacific Northwest,
that's right.
We are going. That would be 11/17. We are talking The Goonies.
Hell yeah!
Going back to Mississippi Studios, Portland, Oregon. We love this place. We played it a couple times. Far too long since we've been there.
Yeah.
Low ticket warning here, folks.
That's
Very
right.
low
That's
ticket
true.
warning.
That's a fact. Jack.
It is.
People
want to see these. They want to hear us talk about the Goonies. They really do.
Yes, they want the truffle shuffle talk. It's been
one of the premier disgusting shitboys of cinema will be discussed at length. We'll have charts, diagrams.
I mean, it was the biggest gaggle of disgusting shitboys since the Little Rascals, man.
It is.
I mean, these kids, they were disgusting.
Really rough looking.
Indeed.
It's a disgusting shit by Home Run Derby. They're all there.
We're going to have so much fun in Portland, Oregon, and we hope you join us.
Hell yeah, man. Like the scroll is telling you, all that ticket information, WHMpodcast.com, where you can go. We got a tour page there. Get that tick info. And don't forget about this in 2 days, Wednesday night, talking Scream 4. Excited to any of you guys rewatched it yet for Wednesday?
Oh, I watched it again a few years ago, and I remember liking it way more than I did on release. So I'm excited to go back to it. I haven't done it yet for this, but I'm very excited. And remember, folks, you have until November 6th, the day after Election Day, to tune into that show.
I haven't seen it. I've only seen it once, and I've only it's because I was so burnt out on Scream, even though Scream is one of my favorite movies. After Scream 3, that even when Scream 4 came out, I was like, absolutely not.
It had been 11 years and you were still burned out.
Yes, I was just like, no, I'm not into it. And then like a couple years later, I finally kind of was like, I'll do all the Screams again, and then that was that.
Yeah, I mean, it might be my second favorite Scream movie. As like it's either that or Scream 2. And I'm like you, Steve. Every time I watch that fucking movie, it goes down a bit. Like,
yep.
I don't know if it's just because of like the surprise of it. Number 2, yes.
Yeah.
But I think I rewatched it relatively recently, like within the last year, and I remember liking it a lot more than the first time I saw it. And it might be number 2 now.
I rewatched part 2 over the weekend, and man, oh man, there are no less than 3 scenes where 2 characters like, or who could it be? Let's go through the suspects one more time. I fucking know it's everyone in the movie. It could be anyone in the movie. And then you're gonna lie, and it's gonna be fucking Aunt Jackie's secret mother. Okay, great. Great.
But don't you love hearing this brand new song by D'Angelo and Foo Fighters, and this crackling soundtrack from today's hottest artists?
It's got the Eels on there.
Eels too, yeah.
Big event soundtrack, man. It absolutely was. And you cannot get worse than fucking 3, man. That movie. Scooby-Doo comes with the Scream franchise, and it's fucking ridiculous.
No, thank you.
Should I do this third one?
Yeah, you do this one, Steve.
The only cure for what I got is more pool supplies. Hello, we hate movies, guys. Hold on one sec.
Hello.
Hi, how are you? We're vamping while Steve does this.
Yes, I started listening to your podcast a few months ago after my coworker recommended it, and I became a fan and a Patreon supporter. That's cool. That's a great story. And please, if you like this show, tell your friends. You know what I mean? Let's feel
Sure.
Please.
Bug your relatives and your coworkers.
Yes. Just, you know what? Sign your mom and dad up. You know, don't tell them what it is.
Yeah, you got the card info. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, sure.
I currently work in the United States Postal Service. Thank you for your postal service. And I listen to podcasts all day while delivering. Now I'm the type to laugh out. Now I'm not the type to laugh out loud by myself very often. Not that I don't have a sense of humor normally, but I normally need to be around other people to laugh. For it to be more than a chuckle. That is a thing. You know what I mean? Like when you're by yourself, as opposed to like being next to a bunch of people.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, you feel that like,
energy.
You know, it bounces back immediately, and it, you know.
Yeah.
I have been known to laugh loudly by myself, though, I will say.
But when I heard the Klieg Lars bit from the Attack of the Clones episode, I had to pull my mail truck over because I was laughing that hard. I sent that episode to a bunch of my friends and bugged the shit out of them until they listened to it. Again, this is a strategy that I like.
Yep.
Anyway, I started listening to the mailbag episodes, and someone told a story about a strange celebrity encounter, and this story resurfaced in my brain, and I felt it was worth sharing.
Now, how cool is that? A mailbag episode from who knows how many years ago.
Totally.
Knocked something loose in this person's noodle, and now there's a new story to tell.
The summer after my freshman year of college, my best friend and I got jobs as pool maintenance technicians, pool boys, in an affluent town in Connecticut. We would ride around all day getting high, cleaning pools, and I have to say it was a great summer. Summer jobs are great when you're just getting stoned all the time. I will say that. Like working outside and just like being high, it's just great.
I never knew it. We were always locked up in that multiplex. It was my only job.
But one of the oddest experiences of our lives came during the summer that I want to share with you. We were doing our rounds and found ourselves on a small private road with only a few houses and no house numbers. We weren't sure which one was our next stop, but when we saw that one of the houses had a pool visible from the road, so we pulled in and began unloading our equipment, and I noticed someone standing in the bay window, so I turned to wave to see if they could indicate to us whether or not this is the correct house. Upon further examination, I realized the man standing in the window was Christopher Walken. Wow.
Allegedly. It could just be an old man. We don't know.
Yes. Now, we're not the types to gawk at a celebrity or feel entitled to bother them simply because we're fans, but I'm not sure how I can fully describe how oddly disturbing the situation was. Without taking my eyes off the window, I said to my friend, "Dude, is that Christopher Walken?" He turned and looked and froze, and I just said, "That's Christopher Walken." So high as fuck, we stood there holding our equipment and had a staring contest with Christopher Walken. I asked, "What's the name on the work order?" And my friend said, "Well, it's not Christopher Walken. I can tell you that." I knew the thing to do would be to pack up our stuff and try another house, but we were frozen on that spot. Almost like if we didn't move, then maybe he couldn't see us.
Like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
It felt like a much longer time than it actually was, but it had to be a good 45 seconds of just staring at Christopher Walken and not knowing what to do.
That's a so long time to directly stare at somebody. 45 seconds, that's an eternity.
That's a good guy to look at, though. I'll say that.
Absolutely. Those pale blue eyes.
I've never backed down from a staring contest.
Then, slowly, Christopher Walken raised his hand, very similarly to the night at the end of Last Crusade when he bid farewell to Indiana Jones.
I love it.
And almost like raising your hands in school when you ask a question. We then awkwardly mimicked his movement. It's like the end of Donnie Darko, by the way. It's like, oh, goodbye, Mary McDonald. I'm sorry about your troubles.
Burned out places, burned out places.
When we then awkwardly
Happy birthday. Sorry, I'm sorry.
That's my neighbor. He got squished. We then awkwardly mimicked his movement and continued to remain frozen in place. Eventually, Christopher Walken slowly turned around with his hands still in the air, and he disappeared into the darkness of his home.
I fucking love it.
This is amazing.
A woman came outside and asked if she could help with anything. Mata, there's some goons outside. Take care of it.
They're either here to clean the pool or kill me.
Some shirtless dope heads out front.
And they've been here for 20 minutes with their hands up. A woman came outside and asked if she could help with anything. Stumbling on her words, we asked if this is the correct house, and she said no, but pointed us in the right direction. So we silently loaded our equipment back into the truck, and we went to the correct house. We have had other encounters with other celebrities in our lives, but the reaction is, "Oh, it's that person." Weird. We moved along, but it was something eerie about Christopher Walken appearing in a dark window staring at you. It's more akin to spotting a cryptid. I've never seen Bigfoot, and I imagine it'd be very similar.
Yep.
When we finished, we went back to our office, and the boss asked how the day went. We said it went fine, but our last stop, we went to the wrong house, and she cut us off, and she said, "You saw Christopher Walken, didn't you?"
Oh my God.
We nodded, and she informed us that we're not the first to have this interaction. The matter was not discussed any further. Thank you for reading. Keep up your amazing work. Bespin.
Wow, nice. I love your Cloud City.
I do, man. I really got to get some kind of numbers on my house that says I don't need pool service. This is getting ridiculous.
Pool's taken care of.
Why do you need a service? I just have the little robot that doodles around down there.
I love that guy.
He's great.
The little guy.
That is terrifying, though. And it's amazing. That button on the end of it, you saw Christopher Walken, didn't you?
Yes.
What an amazing little, oh, yeah. It's like seeing fucking long legs.
He might have cast a spell on you. He can do it
It's
from
true.
that far away. He's powerful.
Gotta say, 1978, Christopher Walken in 70s long legs. Pretty good movie.
Well, right. That's because
Much better movie.
Let me in. This will be nice.
Natalie Wood, it's your birthday.
Oh, no. Someone's got their birthday on the 14th, Miss Natalie Wood.
Oh, man. Look it up. When was her birthday? How fucked up would that be?
No, that'd be eerie. Maybe that'd be
scared to look it up.
Let's see.
Is Robert Evans your father? Well, close enough.
July 20th.
Oh, yeah.
Bullet dodged.
But that'd be a cool movie, I think, honestly. You know,
That would be really cool.
He likes to dance and stuff, you know.
He does
You
like
could
to
you
dance.
could make that like that could be a really low budget Shudder movie, but it was called like The Marionette, and it's like a gangly tall guy in a window, and he's just like you know.
Come on, you're telling me that Christopher Walken has never danced to T-Rex?
Oh, absolutely.
He definitely has.
Come on now. He's a Mark Bolan fan if I ever seen one.
I can't beat Christopher Walken. Not happening.
No.
I'm trying to think.
It's just like rando running intos like that. Yeah.
But
you can't beat Christopher Walken.
I've told my Paul Giamatti story, which is the most eerie of the bunch. But
eerie.
What if I shoved him down the stairs?
Nobody saw me.
So the cool thing is we are wrapping up the In the Flesh tour dates this December. It's a Wednesday night, December 4th. We're going to Boston at what is, by the way, because we were knocking them earlier. This is a good comedy club.
It is
very
a
good
comedy club.
Well,
A great comedy club.
Yes.
I love all the ones that invite us out, and I think they're great establishments.
Yes.
No, Laugh Boston is a legitimately good club. We've played there a couple of times already. We will be back there talking Pretty Woman. I plan on showing the Jason Alexander McDLT commercial, I think.
Yes. You get there
Start
early.
the night off on the right note, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Need that pre-show.
No, this is gonna be fun. I don't think I've seen this movie in its entirety.
Wow.
Like,
Really?
I think this is like a TV movie,
Last time
chunks here and there.
we went somewhere on tour. We're always going around. You got to check our listings, right? So
Yes, indeed.
somewhere in some hotel room, I watched it recently, and it was, you know, it was a hoot for numerous reasons. It was wild and very good performances. I think Julia Roberts is terrific in it.
Oh yeah, I love her in this.
It's like a Nora. It's like a Nora without any balls, basically.
So, Steve, you finally saw that in Nora, huh?
Oh, I loved it.
Oh, yeah.
That movie.
What's your capsule review? You loved it. That's good.
No, yeah, just I think it's a really exciting. I'm still a little stuck on the ending, and I don't want to talk about it here, but just sort of like the last shot is like interesting, and I'm like,
Yeah.
does it need to be interesting? Like, because I feel like the whole movie was, you know what I mean? Like, it almost
I
feels unsure of
like it.
itself to be like.
I feel like we could talk through it, but I don't want to spoil it for
Exactly.
people.
Yeah,
but
precisely.
Nora, very good film.
Great movie. Great
out
movie.
now. Check it out.
Go out and see it on big screen.
It'll
Do it.
definitely. It was limited this weekend. It was on 6 screens, 3
yeah, it's
here,
gonna-
3 in LA. It's gonna expand. And dude, it made like $900 some odd $1,000 on 6 screens. So it will be coming to a theater near you. So
It's
catch
a lot of-
a Nora.
I saw a lot of old people in my screening. Like, you ladies are enjoying yourself tonight, huh?
Maybe
Any
we should
walkouts?
find some young Russian boys.
I used to wave my ass around.
Any walkouts, Steve?
No walkouts. Again,
that's
the little applause too. Like again, it's
Yeah.
a bit of a crowd pleaser, obviously, because that movie's so fucking funny. That's the thing that the
unbelievable.
trailer
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
show you.
Yep.
It's so fucking funny.
Tina, remember when you used to shake it like that?
Remember that time we had to traverse Brooklyn looking for your ass? All right, we got one more. Oh yeah, go ahead.
One
Steve.
last Estrella Nora thought. She is called Annie, not unlike Anakin Skywalker is called Annie by Jar Jar Binks. You know?
Correct.
Like it's just sort of just thinking about that.
I think
You know
that's
what, Steve?
intentional.
You should
Yeah.
get to the IMDb and add that to the trivia section for both
Yes.
Phantom Menace
Mhm.
and Nora. Put it on
Yes,
both. You know.
and trivia and movie connections.
Yes, I think both would be good. It will shoot to the top, Steve. It'll go
Do
right
not,
to the top.
yeah, but don't neglect that movie connections.
It's important not to do that. Okay, so I guess we'll do the last one here.
Yeah.
Lance Henriksen, grieving father and last minute babysitter.
Allegedly.
Yes, alleged, I guess. Hey gang, longtime listener, first time mailbag. I want
Nice.
to regale you with a story about how my mother was an overnight nurse and would leave my father in charge of us kids.
Night nurse.
Right, she was healing Daredevil, right?
Well, yeah, of course, she's very
Oh,
busy
that's
doing
right.
it.
Or being amused for Gregory Isaacs. You don't know. Either or.
Thank you for recognizing my night nurse singing,
course.
Chris Cabin. I appreciate that.
I was the eldest, 7 at the time. My younger siblings just a couple years behind me. Anyhow, we lived about a block away from my grandmother's house, and one night, my uncles were over at my grandmother's house visiting from out of town. They were staying there, and my dad really wanted to go and catch up and have a few late night beers. Let's be honest, he wanted to have a few late night beers.
Yeah,
all the other stuff should go on top
window
of that.
dressing.
That's
Exactly.
the beers are the foundation.
Could have been catching up. Could have been watching a broken TV. Either or.
Yeah.
Just drinking those beers.
Reading excerpts from Moby Dick, any kind of thing. However, the problem was he was in charge of us kids. So his solution to this conundrum was to make us a big bowl of popcorn.
Okay.
Like, probably not free. He probably had to pay for that popcorn.
He probably did, yeah. It's probably not from the garbage, so you got that
Probably
going
not.
for you.
Probably from Orville Redenbacher little can you got there.
Yeah.
Conundrum. And get us a bunch of cozy blankets and camp us out in front of the boob tube.
Sure. Yep.
He proceeded to turn all the lights off in the house. The only light source was the glow from said TV.
Nice.
He then proceeded to pop in Pumpkinhead.
This is sounding really great. Although I'm now reminded this person said they were 7 years
Yeah,
old.
they were the eldest. Of,
Yeah.
what is it?
Yeah.
3 or 2 or a couple kids? So we're talking like 5 and 4 might be involved here.
That's crazy. You know, at first I thought this was going towards you knew Lance Henriksen and he watched you once, but no.
Can you imagine?
watched him.
Lance Henriksen babysitting you. Holy shit!
Go to bed. All right, yeah, I'm gone. I'm good.
I forgot how to use the bathroom.
Do you know how to clean a shotgun?
Dude, that's you would have to run out of the house like Michael Myers is there and start pounding on the neighbor's door.
Totally, dude. I'd be running down the street to the Mackenzies. Fucking Lance Henriksen's my babysitter.
In his mind, it would have us so terrified that we wouldn't wander around the dark house and cause any mayhem while he was gone.
This is great parenting.
Incredible.
Smart move.
Shaky logic at best, but I love it.
He's trying
Genius.
to skinamarink his kids.
A little bit. Little bit. I gotta say, yeah, that's about close enough.
I'm going to use dark magic to get rid of all the doors in the house. That way you can't go anywhere.
Yep.
And no using the bathroom while I'm here.
No,
Well,
just
I'm not
keep
here.
looking at this here happy telephone right here. Get a good look at this happy smiling telephone.
No, I do want that toilet on the ceiling.
Look, if your sister doesn't have her mouth anymore, that's normal. He was right. As I watched this movie huddled together in terror with my younger siblings,
Wow.
we stayed frozen in front of the screen in sheer terror.
That's some fucking Stan Winston special effects, man.
Yeah.
It is a gory, scary monster movie for a 7-year-old. Like,
It
you know
is,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like,
Absolutely.
It's very. And
Also,
not to
fucking
mention
child death,
I was
right?
gonna say, like, a kid not that looks a lot like you dies in the beginning of it.
Right.
Mama, Daddy, would you summon the Pumpkinhead to bring me back? Would you do that for me, Daddy?
Yeah. Am I going to be crushed to death by an ATV driven by a drunk racist?
Yeah, if you leave the house.
He came back right as the credits started rolling.
Incredible.
Walked in the door and said, "Yep, right where I left you."
Nice.
As we were all horribly terrified, too scared to move. So I guess in a weird way it did work. However, my mother was very concerned and puzzled when she had nights off. Why we were all having horrible nightmares.
Yeah.
It's become one of my favorite childhood memories. Have you guys ever had a childhood trauma watch?
Wow.
Thanks for the laughs. Please come to Kansas, maybe. Robert S.
I said this before, we watched RoboCop way too young.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
My brother had some weird nightmares and like literally
zombie guy?
No, it was more like the weird
shooting,
the crucifixion elements of that movie, because we went to Catholic school the next day. Like he was learning about the crucifixion, and he just kept thinking about RoboCop.
Well, that's because he's Jesus. It's the same story.
It's very similar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's incredible.
I definitely saw Twin Peaks way too early, but I don't think I understood any of it. Like, it was just weird. I was like, oh, I remember the room where they're all like dancing and hanging out, and it's like the weird guy on the ball and all that, and Bob is there. Yeah. Like stuff like that I remember, and I remember definitely seeing when I was younger, but like I just was like, oh, that's goofy. That's weird.
But that's also a little sexy. So it kind of eases out of the horror slightly. But
you want to know, it sounds stupid as hell, like to think back on it, but do you know a thing that freaked me the fuck out when I saw it for the first time? And also, I think adding to it was the vibe of, I watched this thing, and then immediately, like, I was at a babysitter's, I watched this thing, then got picked up, and we went out into the street to get into the car, and it was a dark street where it had like just rained. The Michael Jackson Thriller video in its entirety freaked the ever-loving shit out of me. And it was like fucking Vincent Price laughing with Michael Jackson's fucking eyes changing color. Well, your mother's here, dragged out into the street. Just this wet October street, you know, like totally like moonlit. Yeah, I was shitting my pants.
You felt an ancient evil coming from it. A deep
Vincent
evil.
Price was gonna start laughing at me.
Michael Jackson, that's a scary one. I remember Moonwalker, rather.
Oh yeah,
that movie. You got Joe Pesci and spiders everywhere, and of course the guys with like motorcycle helmets and trench coats that are after you. Scary movie. Also, that did he do like a short film where he's like turning into a fucking rabbit?
He turns into a car. He turns into a huge car.
That's in Moonwalker. But I think he had another project. Anyway, the guy's terrifying.
I do wonder, like, watching Pumpkinhead in its entirety.
Yes,
is that scarier than being a kid? Because this happened to me. and walking by the room, where someone's watching. It was Nightmare on Elm Street. My brother was watching it, and I was just like, you just get it, and like just at the wrong angle, and the whole room is red because everything is heightened because you're a little kid. You should be watching this fucking terrifying thing.
Yes.
I know you have this with Hellraiser, right, Eric?
Yes, yeah. My uncle was visiting, and everyone was up late watching Hellraiser 3. Actually,
Yes.
I think.
Oh wow, good one.
I walked down the stairs, dude, and it was like that girl was nude and about to levitate, and I'm like, "Say, I'm starting to figure things out here." And then they ripped her skin off, and I'm like, "Oh, fucking great, fucking great."
And it sticks with you in a weird way. Like that movie was never that scary. That movie could never be that scary. But in that moment, out of context, it's very scary.
Jim Callahan in the chat confirms Michael Jackson turns into a rabbit in an earlier segment of the Moonwalker
he does.
VHS for the song Speed Demon.
That is not an unterrifying video in and of itself. I remember that now. It's like a weird claymation thing.
Yes,
he's
like like the Noid.
Yes.
Oh,
It's like a little Joe Camely because the nose is dickish, like that kind of thing.
Dickish. That guy was trying to shove that everywhere. And as a kid, you have to escape this guy.
You do.
You did have to escape this guy. Escape reality with us with these end of the year shows, everybody. Of course, starting this Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be live on the internet talking about the final film directed by the late, great horror master himself, Wes Craven, Scream 4. This is at moment.co/wehatemovies. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to talk about the movie. It's a live episode. Then we're going to do a whole after-party Q&A where we're answering questions from ticket holders, telling stories, kind of just like this mailbag. It's going to be more of this, more goofing around, folks. 14-day replay if you cannot get it tomorrow night. Totally fine. We get it. It's a Wednesday. But you got 2 whole weeks to check it out. And then on the road, IRL, look at this. Debut in Seattle, Washington, everybody. At Washington Hall, doing Harry and the Hendersons. I think it's going to get emotional talking about that final scene, man.
Oh, absolutely.
He's a beloved character.
We will be crying on command at the show. Please come out.
I will be bringing hankies for the boys. I will have them ready to go.
Totally. Harry hankies, dude.
Handkerchief.
That's November the 15th. And then November the 17th, it's a Sunday night. We're making our return to the very cool Club Mississippi Studios. We're going to be talking the Goonies. The Pacific Northwest is the ground zero for cinematic disgusting shitboys of the modern era. These guys were the biggest disgusting shitboys since the Little Rascals. I said it before. Real troublemakers, these Goonies.
A nuclear shit bomb of disgusting boys. It's like Cold War terror like you've not seen before.
New shitboys on the block.
It's these guys, the younger kids of the Lost Boys, some more in there floating around.
And
disgusting shit boys.
And Jason Alexander as the disgusting shit boss in Pretty Woman.
That's right.
December the 4th, we're going to be in Laugh Boston. We love Boston. It's been a little bit.
Hell yeah.
I hate your basketball team, but I love your city. It's beautiful.
Oh, you know what? No. I love everything about you. I love every team you got. So come to the show.
What a simp.
Yes, please.
I'll say that.
I love every sports squad you got.
Tell me when you want to fuck.
Just same with Seattle and Portland. I'm loyal to you, the listener, not to any local regional thing.
Sure.
And just real quick, yes. So next Monday, noon o'clock Eastern, OSL returning proper. So updates that we would have given on OSL tomorrow. Land of the Dead as part of the Spooktacular drops. That's going to be a lot of fun. Excited about this guy. A lot of Dennis Hopper impressions in there that made for a good app. And then Thursday on the Patreon, y'all, the season 2 finale of Melrose Place, discussed at length, which was awesome to talk about. A lot of batshit crazy stuff there. And then just a little teaser for the week after that, the day before Halloween, the Silent Night, Deadly Night Formentary comes out. Holy smokes.
Philippe did a great job. Those bugs let you know exactly what you're about to watch, my friend.
Right?
Yep.
Those masks. My God, it was my first time seeing the movie, and it was terrifying. So hear my live reaction.
That's right. And then, it says here, then on Halloween, we're going to be talking live to Longlegs. Here's preview of the interview. That's
I'll never
not
not.
that's not funny. I can't believe. I'm sorry,
God.
everybody.
Oh my God. If you're not watching this on video on youtube.com/wehatemovies, you missed out on quite the sight, guys.
But that is going to do it. We have gone beyond the top of the hour here. Thanks so much for tuning in. Again, WHMpodcast.com. Click on that tour tab for ticketing information for all 4 of our upcoming final shows of the year. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Until next time, I have been Andrew Jupin.
Steven Zadak.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
Adios, folks. Have a good night. Bye-bye.